Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 110 of Serenova Crafts. It is Thursday, May 11th, 2017, and I'm your host, Jessica. I can be found as Serenova on Ravelry and Twitter, and as Serenova Crafts on Instagram. You can find the show notes for today's blog in the Ravelry group, or you can find the show notes for today's episode. I'm sorry, I have a head cold. For today's episode... in the Ravelry group or on the blog. Links down below if you're watching on YouTube. They will also be linked in the Facebook group. Well, the video we linked in the Facebook group, and the links to the show notes are in the video on YouTube. So hi everyone. Thanks for watching. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back. If you're a new viewer, thanks for checking me out. I'm probably going to seem very scatterbrained today because I'm rather high on Dayquil. Not like high, like obviously I can think and I'm not like a druggie, but I'm not feeling normal. From about here up, everything is sore. I have a lot of sinus pressure. I'm probably going to be breathing a little funny because my sinuses are all clogged. The back of my throat hurts, but I wanted to still get an episode out for you guys because I didn't want to just miss one without any warning. The camera is moving a little bit as I gesture and talk with my hands because it's sitting in front of me on the couch. But honestly, I didn't want to get up because I feel like crap. So, you're going to have to deal with a little bit of camera jiggle. I'm sorry. I also have zero makeup, and I had to close the blinds because otherwise I looked like a ghost. So, good times. And, like, my lips are all chapped. Like, I know I have some red spots on my lips because they're super chapped from being sick because I'm all dried out. I'm running a low-grade fever for, like, the last, 3 days. And yet I still have to go to work because I'm not sick enough to go to my doctor's and get a note because my doctor would just tell me take Dayquil, which is what I'm doing anyways. So there's no real point in going to the doctor and having them tell me something I was already going to do anyways. Right? So anyways, on to what you're watching this for, which is knitting, crafting, and all that stuff. I have been mono knitting, which means I'm working on one thing. And that has been my architecture. I believe I had just cast it on last week when I talked to you guys. This is the pattern, Architecture. It is by Jennifer Weissman. There, Jennifer Weissman, Architecture. Pattern is rather crinkled and bent because it's been in my bag, which this bag is from Sue of the Tangled Skeins CA, which is the Etsy shop, also of the Two Tangled Skeins podcast. Very cute bag. I love it, Sue. Thank you. I love the foxes. I've had the bag for ages now, but yeah. I pulled out my yarn-it because I hadn't used my yarn in a while. I'm like, hey, I should use my yarn-it. So I pulled my yarn out. My yarn-it out. See, I can't even really talk today. So, I had more of this done. But what happened is that I'm not going to tell you the number of stitches, but you're supposed to have a static number of stitches through the whole thing. And I did not have a static number of stitches through the whole thing. I had, in fact, had almost 10 stitches too many. Which means that I was not paying attention, if I can enunciate, to what I was doing, and had royally messed it up. So last week you saw, like, this much, right? I had, like, the cast on and, like, a few rows. Well, I'd made it to about here, and then it all came out, and then I've done it again. So, this is, try number 2. So you can see how the pattern is starting to come out. And I like how you can see the texture in this yarn as opposed to some of the other colors I had been considering for the pattern. But I wanted something you could see the stitch pattern in. So if I spread this out a little bit, you should be able to see it better. So it forms a point here. And now it doesn't give away too much of the pattern because it is a paid pattern to say you increase here and decrease here. That gives away like nothing. Because I'm not telling you how you're increasing, I'm not telling you how you're decreasing. But that's why you have the point here. So, I was about this much further along. I was about 6 inches when I ripped it out on Sunday because I was having problems. And then I've done all of this since Sunday. This is really the only thing I've been knitting on. I haven't really been knitting on anything else, mainly because I've been hopped up on Dayquil the last 3 days. I'm hopped up on Dayquil right now. And I even called my doctor yesterday morning, being like, hey, drug interaction question with Dayquil, will I be okay? Doctor said I was going to be okay, and then I'm like, I took it, and then I'm like, yeah, this wasn't a good idea. Because my ADD med wasn't playing nicely with the Dayquil. So, you know. So architecture, I did get the Nitpicks catalog. I'm not advertising for them. I'm not sponsored by them, but it's always fun to look through. There's actually some cool sock patterns in here that I'm thinking about going and looking up because they look fun. I especially like the yellow one on the cover that the cuff comes up in the front and it's lower in the back. So I might go look up the pattern, which is the only reason I'm really mentioning, let's see, they say oblique is the pattern name. Looks fun. Yeah, they just have some fun sock patterns in here, you know? So I'll probably just go look up some of the sock patterns. And there was a book in here I liked as well. Where is it? So they have some fun books, too. Oh, the Knitting Masterclass. Looked really interesting, and I might have to go pick that up. This one here, the Knitting Masterclass. So, yeah. Let's see. Other than that, my cousin's wedding is next weekend, so that should be fun. Anything else here I wanted to share? No, that's it. Okay. Just a pair of socks and, ooh, that book. Right. I did get some stash that I didn't pay for because one of the ladies in my Tuesday knit group was going through her stash because her and her husband are going to be downsizing their home. And she's getting rid of some stuff that she knows she'll never use. Which, great, sounds good. I will happily take yarn. Not going to complain. So I have a few things. Sorry, I'm just putting in a progress keeper on this so that next time I show you guys, you'll see where it is. So, I took this partial skein of Nitpicks palette in, I think it's like a cobalt blue. It's not coming up blue. It's not coming up the proper blue on screen. Mainly because my colors are all really funky right now. But the reason I took this, even though it's a partial skein, is that I have leftovers of this in the exact same color in my stash, and by adding this ball in, I can totally make something of a decent size. So that's why I took that. I grabbed this skein. It's a worsted weight. It is 100% superwash merino. The colorway is Clark, and it is from AJ's Handmade Creations. It is not superwash, but it's 218 yards of worsted weight. And I thought it would make a really fun hat. Now, the woman who gave me this, along with all the other yarn, including this, her son had wanted a yellow, blue, and red hat, and she'd bought this off of Etsy, and her son said it wasn't bright enough. Now, keep in mind, even though it's washed out on screen, this is bright. It's bright, okay? But her son said it wasn't bright enough. He wanted, like, neon. So she ended up making him something else, like a hat out of different colors, but she had this, and she knew she was never ever going to use this skein. So she brought it to the knit group, and I claimed it. So here is the card information. If it'll focus. Nope, not going to focus. Thanks for not focusing. Appreciate it. There we go. Alright. Maybe that'll focus it. There we go. There you go. So, AJ's Creations. And there you can see the Etsy. And so, there you go. Sorry, I had to play with the focus there. So I got that. And then she had a skein in Nitpicks Felici. And I figured I could make booty socks. Not booty socks. Ankle socks for someone out of one skein. I use 2 skeins for myself because I like my socks to come like halfway up my calf. But I figured I could make ankle socks for someone with 1 skein of the rainbow. So yep, Nitpicks Felici, rainbow. So this makes 3 skeins in stash of that. And then lastly, she had some Koigu KPM in, I have no idea, die code 3005. It's a purple. It's like a royal purple. It does not look right on screen. But it's like a really nice purple. But I figured I could use this as an accent in some fingering weight project because this is about 200 some odd yards. How many yards is this? Okay, 175 yards. So not quite 200, but figured it would make a good accent in something. So that's what I'm going to do. So that was the stash I got. And since I forgot to do the draw for the April FO thread winner last week, I'm going to do it now because I don't want to forget to do that again. So there were 16 entries. I got my randomizer up. You can see here. So I have 2 to 16 because my own post at the beginning doesn't count. And randomize. Thinking about it. Come on. Come on, how hard is it to pick a number between 2 and 16? Oh, come on. What are you doing? Gah. Fine, I'll close the app and try again. How hard is it to pick a number between 2 and 16? Oh my god. 2. 16. Let's try this again. 4. Okay. 4. Now we have a thing. 4. Who's 4? Pockdedge! You're the winner again. Congrats. Ooh, those are some fun socks by Cookie A. Send me a PM with your Platinum prize, and just let me know what you want. $6 US, me to you. Feel free to choose whatever on Rev. There we go. Made a note of who the winner is, and we are good. So I think that is it. Another fairly short episode for you, though not as content heavy as the last one. I know I packed a lot into last week's episode because I was in a rush. Today it's more I can't focus, so I'm all over the place. Probably don't look that great either. But anyways, unfortunately, I don't know when the next VKN will be. I have no idea. I'm normally closing on Thursday nights now. Excuse me for the yawn. I'm probably gonna go take a nap before work. That was my text message noise, excuse me. Let's see. Feel free to follow me, like, subscribe, comment, all appreciated. Happy to talk with you guys. There's an AMA thread in the Ravelry group. Feel free to use it. The May thread is up in the group, so anything can go in there. Anything fiber arts, cross-stitch, embroidery, weaving, sewing, crochet, knitting, whatever, right? As long as it's like fiber-related-ish, it can go in there if you finish it in the month of May. So I think that's just about it. And I will see you guys next week. Have a good one. Bye!